Hey guys, what's going on? Thank God, like I'm not trying to become like a LinkedIn brand guy or anything like that because my posts like have no consistent theme. I'm all over the place. Like one time I'm talking about like a minuscule tactic to capture more past clients, and then I'm talking recruiting, and I'm all over the place. Well, this is going to follow that same theme, and I'm going all over the place. But I just read a Twitter thread from somebody who used to work at Amazon, and he was sharing his experience about building the Kindle and what Jeff Bezos's mindset was. And now he frames it as this: at the time that they were building the Kindle, selling books, the paperback books, was the number one revenue driver at Amazon. So by building the Kindle, they were basically trying to cannibalize their own business, which in a lot of ways, guys, is really weird, right? Like if you're a company who's making all of your money by selling one product, why in God's name would you go spend money to possibly hurt the selling of that product? Doesn't make sense, right? And especially in Jeff Bezos, the way the guy puts it is Jeff Bezos goes, yeah, the thing is a book is like the greatest invention ever. It works, it's functional, it's perfect, but we need to make it better. And guys, when you look at the company that you work for and yourself, you've got to be accountable to this. That is the exact mindset you have to have, because in our business in the mortgage industry, everything works. Everything is making us money and revenue, right? Like think back to the 90s. Paper applications, yeah, they worked just fine. Appraisers, they worked just fine. They showed up and they took appraisals, right? But try to imagine running through our volume market right now without things like PIWs, or in loanDepot's case, dual AUS. Try to imagine applications without online apps right now where 90% of our consumers want to use them. Imagine not having a consumer portal. Imagine not having any of the other things that technology has brought us. There's no way we would be doing half the capacity that we are today because of all the interactions that we would need to be doing with appraisers and consumers and things like that. And the problem with those enhancements, guys, is us as individuals, they were forced on us, right? Our companies said, hey, we've got this new thing, you're going to use it. And then the consumer started to look for it. And so we're like, well, we better learn how to do it. Now, some of us leaned in right away, but a lot of us still were like, yeah, I like taking apps in person with my borrower. And finally, the borrower said, F you, I don't want to do that anymore. And so, guys, it's busy right now. I get it. The thing that we got to remember is the best organizations for today and the future are looking at their business. And I'm going to come to you, by the way, so keep watching, but are looking at their platform and their business and saying, what we're doing works. What we're doing gets these deals closed, but it isn't good enough. We've got to make it better. We've got to cannibalize our own platform to assure that in the future, our success exists. And guys, for you as individuals, that same mindset has to exist because what you're doing works. You're bringing in loans, you're making income, you're serving your clients. But you got to understand, behind the corner or around the corner is somebody who's trying to take your business because they make money in the same way you do. They're trying to take your realtors. They're trying to take your consumers. And what that means is you've got to examine the way that you run your marketing and your communication. Like just because your standard emails and your standard texts with words have always worked in communication doesn't mean that you can't raise your game. Think about integrating video. Think about integrating automation into it. Just because you've been able to retain your past clients through birthday cards being sent in the mail or some type of drip campaign that you put no thought into doesn't mean that you shouldn't and don't have to start challenging yourself to develop a personal brand online, engage with these people on Facebook and LinkedIn and going into groups and things like that. Doesn't mean that you can't and shouldn't learn how to do digital ads because, guys, like it or not, this game is going to continue to change. And if you happen to be one of those individuals that consistently says, well, it's working for me, so why do I need to change? Just ask Jeff Bezos what he thinks of his competition, where every time he goes into a new business, he kills the competition because he's looking at everything from the mindset of, yeah, I know it works, but it can be better. And the end user, the consumer wants it to be better. And so for you to stay relevant into 2021, 2022, 2023, you constantly need to be evaluating every aspect of your business and say, can it be better? And your company, by the way, needs to be saying the same thing, because if they're not innovating, you're going to get left behind, like it or not, because someone else will, and the consumer is going to be attracted to it. So I don't know. It was a cool thread. Got me thinking, challenged kind of, am I being aggressive enough in making our platform better? Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Reach out if I can do anything.